Hey, Kevin Yates here. So I'm going to take you through the C3 Body Primer warm-up. So this is a series of 5 movement patterns that you're going to be using 3 times during your week on the workout. You'll be going through this. So, it'll take probably the first week, few times to get accustomed to what the movements are, how to do them, how to learn them, and feeling really all the muscles that you're going to be feeling. So what these movements are designed to do is to turn on a whole bunch of different muscles that typically these are muscles that get neglected in most workout programs. And this is the reason why most people fail to achieve their fat loss goals. Now, yeah, there's things like diet that come into play and being consistent with your workout programs. But from an exercise standpoint, just looking at how most exercises are performed and how effective they really are, most people are only getting a fraction of the results they could be getting. So regardless of the exercises they're doing, you can be doing the best exercises on the planet. If you're not incorporating these muscles into those exercises, your results are going to be very limited. So this is why most people fail to burn fat as effectively as they could or as much as they could. People have trouble building lean muscle that they want to build because they're not effectively using these muscles. They have trouble boosting their metabolism, so their calorie expenditure and energy expenditures is diminished. And over the long run, a lot of people end up with a whole list of like unexplained, kind of out of the blue aches and pains and nagging injuries that they kind of come and go. Every time you rest, they go away, and every time you start working out or going running or participating in sports that you like, they start coming back, right? And this is why. So what we're going to do is we're going to train all these muscles. It's basically designed to turn on. Look, we've got like 600 muscles in our body. So the more of those muscles that we can turn on, we want to turn as many out of that 600 as we possibly can in each and every single workout, all right? And that's how we're going to get the most bang for our buck, so to speak. So I'm going to take you through the C3 Body Primer workout. This is very different than your typical cardio warm-up, where you're going on a treadmill or an exercise bike for like 8 to 10 minutes and just getting your heart rate up and maybe sweating a little bit. Well, that might be, what that does, but in terms of priming your body for the movements, the exercises, the intensity that you're going to be using, cardiovascular workouts really don't cut it. They're very ineffective. So what you'll find is you're going to be feeling a whole lot. In the beginning, these are only 5 movements, but let me tell you, these 5 movements, don't be surprised if they feel like an actual workout in and of themselves, okay? But you'll learn them very quick. You'll get a very good level of physical conditioning as well from performing this series. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn on 3 primary muscle groups like I talked about, or areas of the body. One is the upper and mid back complex, so all the muscles between your shoulder blades, up in your upper and mid back we're going to be turning on. We're going to be turning on your abdominals, all the muscles in your abdominal complex, but we're not going to be doing it with crunches and ineffective ab exercises. You've got a lot of muscles in there that you're not even tapping into the potential of. So we're really going to dig deep and involve all these movement patterns that turn on all the abdominal muscles. And finally, we're going to turn on the muscles around your hips. So first thing that we do is called a ball raise. So we're just going to start laying on your back with your feet up in the air. And you're just going to have your knees a little bit bent. Feet are about shoulder width apart, so they're not together. And let me make sure I can get in the camera here. So feet are going to be up. You need a light weight, so you can have a ball. This is something between about 4 to 6 pounds is all you're going to need. It doesn't need to be heavy. The main thing is not the weight that you're using. That's not the important thing. The most important thing is that you're turning on the right muscles, okay? So don't overload these movements with excessively heavy weights. It's not a test of strength here, right? We're just priming the movements. So we're going to hold the ball up. We're going to have legs up. If you don't have a ball, you can use a dumbbell. Take one dumbbell and hold the sides of it. I'll show you real quick. If I had a dumbbell, I would be holding it like that and then hold it up, okay? And that's what you can do. If you don't have either, find something that you can use that's not sharp or pointed or going to injure you. Okay, so legs are going to be up and we're going to hold the ball up. Now the big thing here is that you're going to keep your lower back driven down into the ground. So you never want to feel your lower back doing any work, and you don't want your lower back lifting up off the floor. Keep it in contact with the floor, keep your arms straight, and do a ball raise. Reach the ball all the way back to about 1 inch before it touches the floor and bring it right back up. So this is about the speed that we're doing. It's pretty controlled, but what you want to be doing is feeling and making sure that your muscles in your stomach are turning on. All right, you really got to be feeling that. You don't let your lower back lift up, and the more that, if you feel your lower back lifting or working, then what's going to happen is you're not going to feel the stomach doing what it needs to do. So from your stomach, what you want to feel is, it shouldn't be up high like in the rib cage, okay? It should be deep down like by your belly button and then kind of across to the right and left sides of it. So you want to feel it low and deep in your abdominal complex. All right, so slow and controlled. Make sure that you're feeling for these muscles as you're performing the movements. So this is, anybody can go through this series of exercises and just blow right through it and not even think about it and not feel a thing. So, you could look at these and think, oh my God, that's easy. I don't even need to do that. But trust me, when you're really focusing and really, really concentrating on using these muscles, it's not going to be easy. It's anything but easy. So don't be surprised. You might even be shaking a little bit going through it, believe it or not. So you've got to give these a go. Give it all 100% of your concentration and focus, okay? So that's your ball raise. You're going to do 10 repetitions. Then, coming off your ball raise, put the ball over here, you're going to go into a bridge. So feet are just about hip or shoulder width apart. And I'm going to make sure I'm in that camera there. And if it cuts me off a little bit, hopefully it won't detract. You'll still be able to get the exercise. Arms are going to go out to the sides with your palms up. And then you're going to keep your heels on the ground. So you don't have to lift your toes up or anything. Just drive through your heels. That's the thing. Really push through the heels. Lift the hips all the way up toward the ceiling. You want to make pretty much a straight line from the knee through the hip through the shoulder. All right, so it's there. So I don't want to be coming up with my hips down here and arching my chest up here, right? You don't want to feel it. Again, you don't want to feel it in your lower back. So just drive those hips up, come back down, drive them up and come back down. So you should be feeling your glutes, your hamstrings, and your stomach muscles doing the work, okay? So that's your bridge. 10 repetitions on that. Then we're going to go into marches. Marches are a lot harder than a ball raise. So we're going to have arms out to the side again, palms up. Make sure the palms are up, not down. We want them up, okay? Legs are going to be up to here, and you're going to take one leg, keep it at the same angle you start with, and then you're just going to let it lower toward the ground, barely tap the heel, and bring it up. Everything's got to be under control. Switch and do the other leg. You're going to alternate legs with each repetition. And again, notice I'm not letting my foot drop, and I'm not resting my leg on the floor. Okay? It is a very controlled movement pattern. Again, do not let the low back lift. It should be flat on the floor, and you should be feeling your stomach working very hard to support you. Do 10 repetitions on each leg. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Marching, okay? One other tip about this one. Again, keep the leg at the same angle. It's important that you don't do this where you're just bending the knee like that. If your leg is long, keep it. Look how long my leg is. I'm not bending my knee any more than it is. I'm not going here and then doing this, okay? So you want to keep the leg at the same angle that you start with, as straight as you possibly can. Okay, so that's your marches. Now we're going to take the bridge and we're going to do something called bridge kicks. So arms out to the side, palms up like you did in the previous version of it. And you're going to get up to that top position, and without dropping or twisting or shifting your hips, you're going to slowly extend one leg out like you're kicking a ball, like that. Okay? Now, as you do this, we're going to alternate the legs, right leg, left leg. Key points, when you kick the leg, you don't want to swing it up. Okay? It's not a swing. It's not that. It's keeping your knees at the exact same height while extending the leg like you're kicking a ball out in front of you. It's not a scoop where you're dropping and lifting. It's none of that, okay? So it's just a kick. Secondly, when you kick the leg out, so if I kick out, I shouldn't drop the hip, okay? And again, make sure that as you're doing these, focus, because you do not want to feel your lower back. If your glutes are not working, your glutes should be working to hold your hips up. If you don't feel it right in your butt and your hamstrings working, what's going to happen is you're going to feel it wrenching right and really digging into your lower back, which now, as you know, is an absolute no-no. We don't want that lower back getting involved, because that's why most people have back problems, because they can't, the hips don't work right, the abdominals aren't strong enough, and the lower back is overcompensating. And while you might get through a few exercises or for a few months or weeks or whatever, and you do okay, it's only a matter of time before you keep doing it, and that low back finally just gives until, and it goes into pain. And then all of a sudden you're down the road going, oh my God, I got this back pain. I don't know where in the world it came from. I can't think of anything I did that caused it, okay? That's the issue. All right, so from there, we're going to go into and it's 10 kicks on each leg. Then we go into a ball raise march combination. So we take the ball raise and the march and combine them. All right, same rules. Low back stays put into the floor, legs up, arms up with your weight, and the ball goes down, and at the same time, one leg goes down. And then bring them up together. Switch the legs with each repetition. And again, this is the pace that we're going at. Nice, easy, and controlled. 10 reps on each side is what you're looking to do. And then from there, we're going to go into our final movement pattern, which is a single leg bridge. So our single leg bridge, this is the toughest one. All right, so make sure, if you have any issues with cramping in your hamstrings, or you're having, a little bit of difficulty with either with the bridge kicks, then just do another set of bridge kicks. All right, but once you have those bridge kicks down and you're good with them, then we do the single leg bridge, okay? So the problem most people have with the single leg bridge is that, again, when they don't effectively turn the glutes on, then they go into a spasm and they cramp in their hamstrings like after 1 or 2 reps, and then they can't do it. So we're going to hold one leg out. I'll show you from this side. Both knees at the same height, and then we're going to lift up on one leg. It's just doing a bridge on one leg. Now notice I'm keeping my knees about the same height. And we come down and come right back up on the same leg. And we're just working on isolating that single leg, glute and hamstring, as much as we can. So same rules apply. No twisting, shifting, or dropping of the hips. And again, you don't want to feel it in your lower back. Do 10 reps on one leg, then do 10 repetitions on the other leg. All right? So that is your C3 body primer warm-up. Again, it's one circuit just like I explained, and it's in the sequence that I talked about. After you go through the C3 body primer, we're going to be moving on, and I'm going to show you our next set of exercises that are going to move from just being on the floor and laying down. We're going to start getting up into seated positions and prone positions, and involving different planes of motion that we're meant to do as well. All right, so get through that circuit. I'll be back with our next sequence of movements, so I'll see you then.